logging on here, and we're gonna try to go live. It's so crazy hot here. Um, I'm trying to connect to like a hotspot instead of my local Wi-Fi because I find that it's really strange. I'll like drop audio about 50 minutes in and then you can't hear me. So I don't know what's going on, but I am gonna try to switch my hotspot and see if maybe that's why I've been having problems. So let me see if I'm connected. Let me know when you come on if you can hear me and where you're from. So today I'll have to show you what I'm working on. I've got a few projects. I'm only working out here, oh my gosh, probably, well, I'm working out here a few hours a day. You can see I already went on a bike ride, so I'm already hot. But I figure, well, I might as well go, work out while it's already hot. So I worked out this morning, and today my plan is I'm working on a dresser. I'm pretty much done with it. All I have to do is put the hardware on, and I'm gonna recondition the drawers. And so I don't think I'm going to line the drawers. Sometimes I line drawers and sometimes I don't. Funny enough, a lot of people on YouTube are like, why are you lining the drawers? It's such a waste of money or time, and what if the buyers don't like them? I find that my buyers trust me to pick out the right stuff, and they love drawer liners. There's something about putting, their stuff in on a fresh drawer. They love it. And so, for people who, it is not the old peel and stick like contact paper. This is actually like peel and stick wallpaper. And I use really nice ones. I don't buy cheap ones. And so it's great. I love putting them in. I try to line my drawers too. Some of them I don't line, but like I just did one for myself and I lined the drawers. And I love it. Opening the drawer and there's a beautiful liner. It's wonderful. I love it. So anyway, but today, let me show you what I'm working on. Here's Cooper. Hey, Coop. There's my little shop dog. Let's see if I can get you a better angle here. This is the one I picked up a couple weeks ago. It's a Basset, and it's really turning out good. I did another coat of top coat this morning. I went with a matte top coat. I'll show you what I'm using. I picked this up from Lowe's. This is the one I'm using, polyacrylic. This is their clear ultra flat water-based, and I really do like it. Now, my other one that I like Bears. This is from Home Depot. This one was a semi-gloss I used on a Haywood Wakefield, but I do have, they do carry it in matte too. And so I really I've been loving the mattes lately. So I love this one. I've only tried this one once. This is, but I do like it. Can you see? It's such a beautiful finish. Hey, Wolf Builds, I see ya. Welcome. So I'm loving this sheen. I think it's beautiful. I had to strip this twice because it was patchy, but it's looking really good now. So let me show you what I just got some new supplies last night, so my workstation is a mess. Let me see if I can find it. I must have put it away. I used antique brown on this one from General Finishes, and it's a beautiful color. So let me show you what else I'm working on. I had a disaster yesterday. I was working on my bookcase. If you've been here the last few weeks, I'm still working on this bookcase. I had some paint sitting here. It tipped over and went all over the place. And it got on the back of this antique secretary. I couldn't believe it. Here it is, like probably 200 years old, and look what I did. So I got to get some acetone on that and get all that off. But Kate, my daughter, she's working with me this summer, and she's working on these nightstands that match the dresser. So like I said, I have the hardware did not clean up very good, so I had to spray them. But this is the hardware, and I'll be putting that on today as we work together. So the other piece I got, let me show you this one. I have a French provincial here. And so this is really beautiful. I've already taken the hardware off. I really don't like the hardware. It's super chunky. And so I think I'm gonna have to replace this. But let's see if I can get this open. Hang on. There we go. It is a Century. There we go. This is a really good brand. And so beautiful. I don't love the finish. You can see it's one of these fly spec finishes. Not a fan. And so I stripped the top. I'm going to start there because it had some issues over on the side, some scratches and such. So, yeah, I'm going to probably stain the top. And then I think I'm going to do a wash on the whole thing. So I'm thinking like black wash with a paint, or maybe I'll go with like a gel stain. So that's what I'm thinking there. But today I'm mainly working on the hardware is what I plan to do on that. Tassels will be nice on that. On the dresser, or what do you mean? What part? I don't know. You mean maybe hanging off there? Maybe. So anyway, that's what I'm working on today. As you can tell, it is crazy, crazy hot here. I forgot to put my watch back on. It's probably upper 90s with the heat index. I'm in Oklahoma, and with the heat index, we are way over 100. And so I'll work out here for a little bit, but I can't work out here too long. I do have a project I'm working on in the house. I was able to take one in. I'm working on a big, not big, I'm working on kind of like a buffet. It's one of those really old ones. It's has like these, these metal, I don't know if they're bronze or what, but these little metal pieces all over them. And so I've taken it all apart and I have refinished it. It's beautiful burl wood. But it had a lot of veneer damage on it. And so the drawers were too close to each other. So when you pull the drawer out, it was pulling the veneer off. And so I had to replace some of the veneer. Good morning, Phyllis. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. But it's coming. It's working really well. And so it's just one I'll probably work on because it's been so hot. We are getting a break. I think it's supposed to be in the 80s this weekend, which would be great. So it's the only tough thing about summers. I'm not sure which is worse, summer or winter. The problem with winter is that my finishes mess up because you can't use certain things under a certain degree. And so we don't usually get super cold, but we'll sometimes get down into the 30s. Or lower, but there's just some days I can't work out here because it's just too cold, or my finishes just won't work. And so, if I'm spraying something, can't do it because I can't be out here. So that's why in the winter it's kind of nice to pivot to things I can do in the house, whether it be, finishing details or. I don't hand paint as much as I used to. I started out. I'm good with a roller and a paintbrush. It just takes so much time. And I do think I get a much better finish when I spray. So I can't spray inside. But anyway, so are you working with me or are you just watching? So are you working on a project this morning? Tell me what you're working on. But I'm gonna go live till at least 10, maybe a little after since I popped on a little later. But tell me what your projects you're working on, and if you have any questions, and I'll give you some recommendations if I can help. So for right now, I'm going to work on the doors, and I'll show you how I recondition my drawers, and we'll put all my hardware on, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to stage it. So this might be my video for this week, because I think I'll finish it. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and we're gonna get started. So I always clean with 50-50 mixture of denatured alcohol and water. That gets off any other weird stuff. And then I like to use a high grit. This is 220 in case I have any, like I have on this side. See, I have a little bit of stain. So I'm just going to sand that off. I don't want that to be on my final product. And then I'm using an artisan wind balm. This is new to me. This is a veteran-owned company. They sent it to me. It has flaxseed oil, beeswax, and orange oil. So it's super easy to use, but these drawers are in great shape. So I'm not going to line them. I'm just going to condition them, and I think it'll look beautiful. Looks like I scratched it. So I'm gonna have to do that one again. Good morning, Monica. Okay. You want to see what it looks like? Hardware makes such a big difference. Wow. Hey, Debbie, coming from Florida. I bet you're really hot down there too. You're restoring a converted desk into two side tables. Fabulous. I've done that one time. I know some people, that's just really all they do. Small tables are a great way to do things. I did notice on this last drawer, I'm going to take it back out because I noticed I have a little bit of give. So I'm going to glue it up. Sometimes I notice earlier, but I notice there's a little give right here. So I'm going to get that glued up. I love these little syringes because they have the cap on them. So I can use them and then put the cap on and reuse them. Oh yes, this is kind of a campaign dresser. A little bit of campaign-ish, but there's no brass on the edges. So I'm calling it campaign-ish. I haven't done one in a long time, actually. Okay, let's take a break. Let me show you. I've seen this in Lane's, but this had something in the drawer. So I sanded it to get it off. And as you can tell, this is a faux wood finish. Sometimes you just have to look at the back. So this is a Basset. I've seen this numerous times on Lane. Never seen it on a Basset. Didn't even think to turn it over, but thank goodness I didn't get any acetone out or anything, because this is literally just like paint, like a faux finish. So this is gonna have to do. This is, thankfully it's on a bottom drawer, but that's one of the reasons probably why I would probably line a drawer, because I don't love that. But I don't know. Hardware makes a big difference, doesn't it? So, man, that's a lot. I've got 3 more drawers to go, but we'll take a break here and chat a bit. So let me read back over my comments. As you can tell, I'm like dripping into my pieces. It's terrible. It's just terrible. And catch up here. Love that you're chatting with each other. That's awesome. Okay, let me back up to where I'm at. Okay. Monica, you're working on the moment you're waiting on your American in Martinsville to dry. I don't blame you. This weather. You would think it would dry really fast because it's so hot, but sometimes it's really humid, and so then it takes a long time for things to dry. So enjoy your pool day. That's awesome. T, you said you're let go of a set and tables that I've been working on since December. Oh, I don't blame you. I've applied a paint wash and a stain combo, but have stripped them down completely multiple times. You know, I've had to just let a few pieces go that just I couldn't get. There was one piece, it was China Hutch, wasn't anything special, and the glass had, it had broke. I think it broke before I even got it, and I went and got a custom quote. Oh my gosh, glass is crazy expensive. You would think that it, wouldn't be, but to have, anytime you go out of the norm of just like a rectangle, because this was curved, and they quoted me, I believe it was like $150. And, it wouldn't have sold that much. And so it didn't even make it worth my while. So done is better than perfect. Oh, let me read through some of these here. Phyllis, she said, I'm 79 and technically has passed me up. I have an armoire I'm working. I would like some suggestions. You can always send me an email. My email is in my profile, but it's lisa@ivylanehomellc.com. You're welcome to send it to me, and I will look at it. Toners are hard. Let me see. Yeah, send me some pics and I'll see if I can help. It's just really hard sometimes to know what to do, with pieces. I think that's my next piece here. I'm going to try to walk people through my process, because I know people get so upset sometimes when I do certain things or whatever. And, there's so many options. I honestly think that's the hardest part, is there's so many directions you can go. You really have to, if you do this as a business, I don't just do this for YouTube. I sell my pieces. So it's a lot different, like entertaining an audience versus doing something that somebody would actually want to buy. It can be very different. And so sometimes, people want me to get creative and such. And I do like to get creative on certain pieces. Probably like every, 5th or 6th piece, I like to kind of get creative on something. But the practical part is that I do sell these pieces. And so I can't go so crazy that, nobody wants to buy them. And also, crazy is just not really my style. I do like glamorous. I do like that. Like, that bookcase I'm doing, but see, that's for myself. That bookcase, I'm gonna paint it 2 different colors. I'm gonna go, you know, like a lighter color on the inside. I'm gonna glam it out with wallpaper and gilding, but it's for me. And I know I could probably find somebody that would want that too. And so every once in a while, I do like to think about taking things and, you know, getting a little creative with them. But I have to, you know, if it's just for fun, it's no big deal. But I don't want my pieces sitting for months. No, I mean, I don't have, usually everything, it's very rare for me to have a piece past 4 weeks. And so occasionally I sat on a pair of nightstands. They were Brutalist, and I sat on them for about 8 weeks. And I knew what they were worth because I had stripped those, and there was so many nooks and crannies. They were high-end pieces, so I waited until I found the right buyer, and then I sold them. But I really try to price my things fair enough that they will sell within a few weeks. And so 2 weeks is my sweet spot. I know that if I sell it too quickly, that I've probably left money on the table. And so if you have a really quick sale, you need to reevaluate your asking price. And you need to go, oh, well, either you just happen to find the right buyer at the right time, which is great, or you priced it too low. So if you're selling your pieces, you know, think about your prices. And every time, you know, essentially, you know the job you've done, and you know maybe the quality of the piece. Because if you've taken this piece apart and you know its quality, ask a little bit more. It doesn't hurt. And then okay, when you're listing something on Facebook Marketplace, if you have a business, if you have a Facebook business page, list it there. List it on Facebook Marketplace. I've said this before, but I always I do like a little bullet point. I get my listing, what it is. So like, okay, let me just give you an example of this one I'm working on right now. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it around for a second. Okay, so this is a Basset. I would list this as a Basset dresser, and then I would also say it's a credenza. It's a sideboard. It could be a buffet, a media console. You want to give a lot of different ways that it could be, you know, used. Don't just say dresser. Say all of them. And so I'll write it out, and I'll say, okay, this is what it is, and then I'll say, you know, I'll say what I did to it. Like I stripped it. It has like the campaign hardware. I'll say it's a nice, rich, warm brown. It has like a, you know, a muted, a matte top coat. And so I'll say I conditioned the drawer. So I'll kind of bullet point everything I did to it. And then what I do is I take it into ChatGPT. You could do Claude, ChatGPT, and say, can you enhance this listing for Facebook Marketplace? And you put everything in there that you did to it. And it'll spit back a polished listing for you. And so, you know, it'll help you kind of have like a little blip at the beginning, you know, kind of the flowery part, and then it'll have like bullet point of what you did, and then you'll put in your dimensions, and then any additional information you want to give. But that's what I like to do. Make sure, because that's part of it is marketing. And then you want to, you know, you can do 10 photos, and so fill them up. Do all 10. Make sure that you have the insides of the drawers. If you have a maker's mark, make sure you take a picture of the maker's mark and you include that in your pictures. You want a wide shot, close shot, tight, side, and then do a video. Now the video can be up to a minute. And so I do a full video where I go along the whole thing. I open the drawers, shut them, make sure everything's functioning right. And so that's your listing. Now, you can join several local buy-sell trades. You can post it up to 20 of the buy-sell trades groups on Facebook. So join a whole bunch of groups that are in your area, post it to those two. And then you wait. You wait 2 weeks. Don't reduce your price. You wait. See if you have some people reach out to you. You see if you have saves. What you really want are shares, because shares is somebody that's sharing it to a significant other saying, hey, I like this. Can we get it? So I like shares. But saves don't necessarily mean a ton, because I've sold things with five saves. It doesn't matter, because the higher the saves, probably the lower priced your item is, which means your market is larger. So don't get caught up in too many saves. You only need one. You only need one buyer. So if you don't have anybody reach out to you in 2 weeks saying that they're interested in your piece or anything like that, then delete your listing and redo it at a lower price. Do not reduce your price on your listing. That shows that you are willing to come down all the time, and that, anytime you put something out that, oh, well, she'll come off or he'll come off on the price a couple, $100 or so, so I'll just wait. Don't do that. Delete the listing and then repost it. And so, because the problem is if you always reducing your cost or your price on stuff, then you're training your buyers that they just need to wait. And then they'll reduce their price. So that's my advice on Facebook Marketplace. Hold your price if you can. 2 weeks is a really great time to see if you have it priced correctly. And if you don't, who cares? Delete it and lower it and come at it again. And so, sometimes we freak out because people haven't, bought something in 2 weeks. Well, I mean, you're trying to find your perfect buyer, and a 2-week span that they just happen to be on Facebook looking for your particular item at that particular time. That's the other thing, is sometimes you need to post it, like I said, in all the buy, sell, trade groups, or you need to put it on a business page, share it to your personal page if you want to. If you're on Instagram, share it on Instagram. If you're on TikTok, share it on TikTok. I mean, you got to market it, get it out there. So that's my advice. Does anybody have any questions on selling? Do you guys sell your pieces, or do you just do them for fun? It's a lot of work just to do it for fun. I know people do, but I don't. I sell my pieces. Well, I keep some of them too. So anyway, so any other questions? I'm going to work for just a little bit longer, and then I'm going to stop. What's up? My son's here. Go ahead. Come on out, Jono. Oh, I scared him off. He went back in. My son is, I have 2 sons. My oldest is 26, and then I have one who's 20. How old is he now? He'll be 20. He's 22 right now. He'll be 23 in January. And so he graduates college in December. So he just finished up an internship this summer, and he is going to be looking for full-time work here pretty soon. So it's exciting. I'm not an empty nester, but all of my kids are at least done with high school, because my daughter, she is just graduated high school, and she's starting college. Well, I've told you before, she's got like 23 college credits. She's already been taking college courses in high school. So she does not like math. She's a writer, so she's really, language is very creative. Language is her thing. She doesn't like math. So she decided she took her math classes her senior year for college. And so we homeschool, we did a hybrid program. So she had almost all of her credits that she needed to graduate after her junior year. So her senior year, she took college classes. And so she's already took algebra, and I think it was elementary statistics she had to take. And so she's done. She doesn't have to take any more math her whole college career. So she's really excited. I said, well, obviously you have to do your budget someday, that kind of math. But she doesn't want to have to do, trigonometry or algebra or all that jazz. And so she can focus on her major. And like I said, she's writing. That's her thing. She loves to write. She's super creative. I'm not that way. I'm creative in other ways, but I've never had stories. She would just come up with all these stories, when she was, younger especially, and she would tell me all these, and I'd just be like, how did you come up with that? I'm not a writer. My husband, he's very creative. My mother-in-law used to write, but it was more like newspaper type of articles and such. But I'm not creative like that. If you sat me down and told me to write a story, I'd be like, I don't know. But I can do other things. So Monica, you said you're selling. Yes, too much just for fun. I keep a few as gifts to myself for the hard work. Girl, I hear you. I do too. That's the one I'm working on, that bookcase I'm working on for myself. I'm super excited about it because I know exactly where it's going. I'm just really nervous about doing the doors because it's glass, and so I'm gonna probably start tackling the doors this week, taking the glass out gently so I don't break it because they're arched, and that would be awful if I broke them because that would be expensive to repair. And I like the original glass. It's not like wavy or anything. I don't think it is. But this one is so weird. It's not like it's a, great like heirloom or anything like that. But it has character. I don't know why I like it. I just do. But also I don't feel bad about painting it. So maybe that's part of it too. So any other questions? But actually, I guess it is, and we're right at an hour. I hope that you can still hear me all the way through. I connected to a hotspot instead of my local Wi-Fi. Even though I have great Wi-Fi, typically I pay for it, but I don't know, my area, it just drops. So anyway, I hope you like the lives. I tried to go horizontal, but honestly, it's just too hard for me because I can't see any of the comments. I have to use the back camera. So anyway, I guess we're right at an hour, so I guess I'll stop. But if you have any requests for anything you want me to do on my live for next week or whatever, I love that you're chatting with each other. And who was it? Was it Teresa or was it T? T, was it you you weren't using the, did you ever end up using your sprayer? Did you practice with water? You'll have to let us know because now we're curious. All right. Well, have a great week, and I will see you